Hello Bama fans! This is a surprise and fans didn't expect it. Let's get to the news. But first, subscribe to the channel for more news. Jared Curtis, a 5-star quarterback prospect in the class of 2026, surprised many by backing out of his commitment to the Georgia Bulldogs last Thursday night. This decision changes the gears of the recruiting landscape, and for Alabama fans, this news brings an unexpected surprise with a dose of optimism. Curtis, who has been a standout at his position playing for Nashville Christian School in Nashville, Tennessee, was seen as a key piece in the future of the Bulldogs program, with his commitment backdated to March 2023. Now, with this turn of events, attention turns to what impact this could have on the Alabama Crimson Tide, especially under the leadership of Kalen DeBoer. Since taking over in Tuscaloosa, DeBoer has been aggressive in recruiting, seeking not only to keep Alabama on top, but also to mold a team that reflects his offensive philosophy. And it's important to remember that Curtis is not a new name to DeBoer's staff. In January of this year, shortly after arriving in Tuscaloosa, the new Alabama coaching staff extended an offer to the talented Tennessee quarterback. The interest in Curtis, then, is not new. And now, with his decision to leave Georgia, the chances of seeing him in a Crimson Tide jersey seem more palpable. Curtis himself seems excited about the prospect of playing for Alabama, having recently posted on X about his joy at being considered again by the new Crimson Tide coaching staff. Blessed to be offered again by the new Alabama coaching staff, he wrote, along with a photo with Bryce Young, former Alabama star quarterback and Heisman Trophy winner. For Alabama fans, this image undoubtedly ignites a spark of hope. While Alabama has yet to commit to a quarterback in the 2026 class, Curtis's decommitment from Georgia could very well be the beginning of a turnaround in the Crimson Tide's favor. And this recruiting move is a direct reflection of the work of Kalen DeBoer and his staff, who have worked hard to ensure that the program remains among the best in the country since day one at Alabama. Curtis would be a valuable addition to the team, given his skill, vision, and potential for growth. He has shown impressive talent throughout his high school career, and his presence on the team would certainly strengthen the future of the quarterback position for the Crimson Tide. Of course, there is still a long road to the 2026 class, and a lot can happen in the unpredictable world of recruiting. However, the fact that Curtis posted a photo of Bryce Young and publicly expressed his enthusiasm for Alabama's new coaching staff are signs that should be celebrated by fans. With DeBoer's work underway, Alabama is well positioned to earn the commitment of this talented quarterback, and if Curtis does choose the Crimson Tide, he will be following in the footsteps of some of the greatest names to ever grace Tuscaloosa. The pursuit of Curtis is a clear example that Alabama is not only thinking about the present, but also the future of the program, looking to ensure that the next generation of talent will keep the team at the top of college football. Let's get going! And speaking of recruiting, Alabama is about to welcome back one of its top defensive targets, Elijah Conliff, a 3-star defensive end in the class of 2017 who has shown a lot of interest in the program under Kalen DeBoer. Conliff's visit to campus next month is significant news for the Crimson Tide, who continue to work to secure top defensive talent for the team's future. Conliff, a Hampton, Virginia native, received an offer from Alabama during camp last month, and since then, the Tide has shot to the top of his list of picks, cementing itself as one of the favorites in the race for the athlete. The fact that Conliff is already planning a second visit so quickly after his first experience in Tuscaloosa shows the immediate impact DeBoer's program is having on young athletes. The Alabama coaching staff, which has worked diligently to build a balanced and competitive team across the board, has clearly impressed Conliff, and this growing relationship could be a deciding factor in his future commitment. With his return scheduled for early September, Conliff will have the opportunity to deepen his connection with the program and further explore what Alabama has to offer in terms of both athletic development and academics. Visits like this are essential to strengthening connections with recruits and ensuring they feel like Alabama is the right place to maximize their potential. Having Conliff on campus also gives the coaching staff a chance to reinforce their arguments about why the Crimson Tide is the best destination for his college football career. In addition, the defensive end position has always been a crucial area for Alabama's success, and securing emerging talent like Conliff is vital to keeping the defensive line competitive for years to come. While still considered a three-star prospect, Conliff's development potential is clear, and under the guidance of experienced coaches in Tuscaloosa, he could become a dominant force on the Crimson Tide defense. Bama is clearly willing to invest time and energy into ensuring the best players join the program, and Conliff's return to campus only reinforces that strategy. With recruiting season in full swing, visits like this could be decisive in determining the future of Alabama's defense and the team's new recruits. Alabama continues to bolster its defensive line with the addition of Cerritos College junior college transfer Cavani Henry to its 2025 recruiting class. Henry, one of the top defensive players in his class, made the decision to flip his commitment from Mississippi State to Alabama, highlighting the pull Kalen DeBoer's program continues to have on the recruiting scene. According to On3's report, the move is a major milestone, not only because of the quality of the player, but also because of the immediate impact he could have on the Crimson Tide's defensive scheme. Cavani Henry, who initially committed to Mississippi State in June of this year, was already a household name in the college football world. Originally from Lawndale, California, Henry is ranked as the number 2 defensive lineman and number 2 overall player in the junior college class, according to 247 Sports Rankings. This ranking reflects the impact he has already had at Cerritos College, where he has demonstrated himself to be a dominant presence capable of making big plays and leading the defense. The fact that he was originally recruited by Oklahoma in the 2022 class only reinforces his talent level, although he opted to transfer after his freshman season. For Alabama, this acquisition could not have come at a better time. With a group of more experienced players on the defensive line, such as Jamarian Latham, L.T. Overturn and K. Robinson, Henry's arrival brings a new layer of depth and flexibility, especially at the bandit position. This position, a key part of the Crimson Tide's defensive scheme, requires a player who combines strength, agility and playmaking intelligence, traits that Henry has demonstrated throughout his career. Players like Jordan Renaud and Kean Keeley are already being groomed to make an impact at defensive end, but Henry offers an additional option with immediate potential. His high school numbers are impressive: 65 tackles, 26 tackles for loss and 12.5 sacks in his senior season at Lusinger High School in Los Angeles. These stats show that Henry is not only a solid defender, but someone who can change the course of a game with explosive plays. He has a rare ability to read the opposing offense, make quick adjustments and put constant pressure on the quarterback, something that Alabama has always valued in its defense. With Alabama's defensive line growing more experienced and established, Cavani Henry's arrival provides a smooth transition into the future. He will compete for the position as soon as he steps foot in Tuscaloosa, and his versatility at defensive end will be a valuable asset to the team. For head coach Kalen DeBoer and his staff, this is yet another example of how the Crimson Tide continues to attract the best talent in the country, not only among high school recruits, but also among junior college players looking to elevate their game. Henry comes to Alabama ready to compete, and if his track record is any indication, he will be a key player on the Crimson Tide defense once he gets the chance to put on a uniform. This change of commitment also highlights the recruiting prowess of DeBoer and his staff, who quickly identified Henry as a priority and were able to bring him to Alabama despite his previous commitment to Mississippi State. And let's move on. Alabama, known for its aggressive and proficient recruiting, is turning its attention to one of the top prospects in the 2025 class, Ivan Taylor, a 4-star cornerback who is currently committed to the Michigan Wolverines. Taylor, who was previously committed to Notre Dame, made his move to Michigan over the summer, bolstering the Wolverines' recruiting class. However, in the world of college football, a recruit's commitment rarely means the end of the battle. Alabama is now committed to flipping Taylor's commitment, which would not only be a strategic win but also a crucial addition to the future of the Crimson Tide defense. Taylor, ranked as the number 2 overall safety in the country and the number 41 nationally ranked recruit in 2025, is a player with skill and versatility that few teams can ignore. His ability to play both cornerback and safety makes him a highly valued prospect, and it's easy to see why Alabama is putting so much effort into bringing him to Tuscaloosa. Alabama has a strong history of developing defensive players, and Taylor would have the opportunity to continue that tradition, especially under the guidance of an experienced and successful coaching staff. What makes this attempt to flip Taylor's commitment even more interesting is the fact that he has already shown a willingness to reconsider his choices. Initially committed to Notre Dame, he has transitioned to Michigan, meaning he is open to evaluating all of the options that surround him. Alabama, recognizing this opportunity, has worked diligently to convince him that the Crimson Tide offers the best path for his development, both as a player and as a student athlete. While Taylor has expressed confidence in his decision to commit to Michigan, the Crimson Tide is clearly determined to change that. Taylor's commitment to Michigan is a huge asset for the Wolverines, but with Alabama pushing hard, the situation is far from set in stone. The work that Kalen DeBoer and his staff have done in recruiting Ivan Taylor is a reflection of the relentless mindset that defines the Alabama program: never give up on a talent who can make a difference on the field. And with the Crimson Tide's history of turning promising defensive recruits into NFL stars, the case for Taylor to reconsider his decision is quite compelling. If Alabama can turn around Taylor's commitment, it would not only represent a significant win over a highly regarded rival like Michigan, but it would also further cement the Crimson Tide's reputation as the go-to destination for the nation's top defensive players. The impact of a player like Ivan Taylor on Alabama's defense would be immediate, especially considering his ability to cover the field and his playmaking intelligence. For Alabama fans, the prospect of adding a player of his caliber is exciting, and the recruiting team's continued efforts only add to the anticipation. The outcome of this matchup will be decided by where Taylor believes he can reach his full potential. Michigan has a strong contender, but Alabama isn't about to let this opportunity pass without a fight. And can Bama turn this game around? Let me know what you think.